Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the D Hoop University podcast. This is your host, Darrell Harris, also known as D Hoopster. Boy, did it feel good to do that. If you can't tell, I have missed potting greatly. And in this time off, I realized that, you know what? It's a new year, it's a new vibe. I think it's time for a new season, and that's what this is. Season 2, D Hoop University, back better than ever, honestly, folks, and looking forward to it. Lot to catch up on. So what I had to do was this welcome back shindig is going to be broken up over a couple of parts. What you're getting first is what you're used to. Casual Diehards, back at it again, here to talk some hoops and some football. Without further ado, Big Jace, turn me up. But enough about me.
No, I was just thinking about those songs too. That's so funny.
But enough about me.
Now we go to dinner and they talk about sharing the cost.
Whew. Let me tell you about my brother, though, man.
Man. Back at it, dude. It's been too long. Seriously.
It is that time.
It is that time.
It is go time.
That October sky is looking ominous.
Woo.
The money is autonomous.
Woo. Shout out to Oliver North. He out there doing Chicago. Yes, sir. Turn me up.
I'm in and out of Houston hobbies so much. I'm a hobbyist.
This is the DS2 stretch we're about to hit.
Yeah.
This is one track off of DS2. This is like Know the Meaning.
Yeah.
Like brown paper bag, we getting back to the paper. Getting back to the everything I did, it was premeditated.
It's premeditated, 100%.
I feel like as a fellow creatives can all relate that for one, timing is everything. And you know when it's time to strike. And then you know when it's like I could and I should and I want to, but it's feeling forced or it's not feeling like it's time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't force it. You definitely can't force it sometimes. And I think there's been a lot going on too. Like just like with both of our like
Big
lives.
facts. Big
You know what I
facts.
mean? It's kind of hard to fit things in when there's just so much transition and uncertainty and whatnot. So
Yeah, man. And this is something that we've emphasized from the jump, that this thing is a passion project.
yeah.
And it's real life mixed in with it. That, personally speaking, podcasting is man, it's a joy, it's a release, it's a hobby, but passion that I'm pursuing. And the one thing that I didn't want to be, because I've launched pods before, been a part of different platforms and everything. And as podcasting blew up in popularity, I was like, man, I'm not gonna be that person that has a platform, that has a pod, that has like a 3-month stretch, 4-month stretch, and then you don't hear from them again.
Yeah.
Throughout what we can now refer to as season 1.
Yeah.
I was definitely like, folks, we're not going anywhere.
We're here.
We're here.
We won the first round of the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean? We had Arkansas, that was the 3 seed. We took care of them, no problem. You know what I mean? We took care of them, no problem. We got
they kind of worked us on the seeding, like seeding Saturday didn't necessarily go our way. We drew like the 8. You know what I mean?
We
like round 1, we had a test.
It was a dogfight, but we were ready. They played with our emotions on the Saturday. We were there Monday morning, ready to go.
Yeah, no, man. This is welcome everybody to season 2 of the D Hoop University podcast. Season 2 is something that happened completely organically. Like Shiv alluded to, Um, last you guys heard from us was November 1st, I believe,
Wow. Yeah.
and didn't necessarily think we were stopping the buck there, but that was episode 47 or 48.
Wow.
And I
Yeah.
said, I'm not just flossing over episode 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like episode 50 will be a shindig. There will be, you know,
There will be people. There will be hors d'oeuvres.
yes,
You know
there
what I
will
mean?
be
Some cocktails.
accommodations all sorts. You know, we're going to do that up. We're going to be dressed to the nines
Yeah. Yeah. We're
for,
dressing
for
up.
for the big 50.
We scheduled the cut earlier in the day for the
Right.
big, you know.
All of that. So I was just like, let's give this let me let it breathe because like I said, plenty going on.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, if you do, actually, you may or may not see the visual component, but change locations, new scenery, new schedule, new
Yeah.
shift, new year,
New Year. Yeah.
the holidays. Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
And y'all know I got a little one. Man's was busy, man. Like December is a fast, busy ass month.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had to let it do what it had to do. And it's tough where we're at because as casual diehards of a variety of things, this is like gumbo season. You got NFL playoffs, you got NBA starting to hit stride. I got wrestling and WrestleMania I'm trying to pay attention to. You got college basketball trying to get your attention, which I'm sorry I don't have the time.
Yeah.
You have college football, you got bowl season. I'm a freaking Rebel fan all of a sudden. Like that's not everything either. But like
Yeah.
in the mix of all that, then you on top of that, you have the holidays, you have your family, you have all this and that too. So it's like, okay, enough about me. Let me let all this breathe. Let me, distance makes the heart grow fonder.
No, it does. That it does. That it does. And if you know, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, you know.
So I hope you guys missed us. We didn't really leave, but we're back.
Ain't really leave, but I'm back.
You did. And as far as what you can expect in season 2, as of the next couple episodes, at the least, you can expect a full visual component accompanying the pod on our YouTube page.
It's a
You
bet.
can continue to expect this on your major platforms that you're already listening to podcasts on, be that Spotify, Apple, Good Pods, Amazon, you name it. You're gonna expect to see us popping up on your feed weekly,
You can find it.
and you can expect some more guests. You can
Yeah.
expect familiar faces. I know Isaiah wants to say some bull jive about the Miami Heat.
Oh, here
I'll
we
give him his I'll
we'll
give
give
him the
it we'll give
podium.
him his time. Yep.
We're gonna get, my pops on here.
Yeah.
He might make a surprise appearance on this episode, folks. We were doing this live, real time.
Yeah.
It's He might call me, but he knows that his presence is requested,
It is.
and more. Season 1 launched at the initial play-in tournament game,
Yeah.
and me and you hit a stride, Shiv, like
Yeah.
a hell of a stride,
Yeah, we did. We did.
and it'll be here again in no time.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, time just flies faster with each year. Every year we get older, I feel like the year goes by just like I don't know how much faster, but it feels like it goes by just a little bit more faster. So like from now until what, like April, May?
That might be season 3.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You know what I
Like,
mean?
who knows? But it's around the corner. It's around the corner.
Let's see, man. I done shout out a couple of these already, but I got some shout outs off the top. And then we're going to get started because we got some breaking news today.
Yeah.
For this is the day that the Lord has made. And he gave us some spanking new news to talk about in the world of basketball. So that's coming. Stay tuned. Shout outs first because we're going to do this orderly. This is order in the classroom, and first, let me give shout out to Bash. I already did.
Yeah.
This fool is 2.5. He's
Shout out
more than
Bash.
2.5 now. Exactly. His birthday is July 1st. So
Shout out Bash.
they're not terrible, But when he has his moments, I'm reminded, oh, that's why they call these terrible twos. That's right.
Yeah,
He is in the midst of them. Midst of them. This
I
dude is
bet.
the conversations. I kid you not. The conversations I have with this kid.
I gotta
the
see him. It's been so long, bro, since I've seen him. I think I came when he was like what? He was like just about one,
he
or he was
wasn't one yet. He was like
yeah,
5.
he was about to turn
He
one.
was like
Yeah,
9 months.
yeah. I came in March. This is back when I was living in LA, I think. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like yeah, 8, 9 months. Yeah. Oh man,
Nah, legit, dude. Um,
that's crazy.
craziness, bro.
Yeah,
Such a little dude already. It's
I
nuts. Like I told him we're going shopping for new shoes this weekend. He's like, let's go today. Like, what do you
what do you got going on? That's crazy, dude.
why are
That's
you taking me to school? I don't want to see my friends.
yeah.
I This is what he says. Dad, let's go to Starbucks. This is what
Nah,
he says.
that's
No,
crazy.
Dad. Go to Target, Dad. Bashi, we can't go to Target every day.
That's nuts, dude. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy.
It's nuts, bro. It's
That is
nuts.
that
Over
is
halfway to 3 is nuts. I can't
that's so
believe
fast. Like that feels it feels like he was just born like the other day. I'm not even joking.
it. Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Your word is bond. Shout out to mom. Shout out to bro. Shout
Yep.
out to my sister. Shout out to pop. Shout out to all the fam. Shout out to a little special someone. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
And shout out to the bros. We had a Founders Day.
Yeah.
Just came and went.
There we go.
1914. Royal Blue. Pure White. The Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the bros. Shout out to the gang. That about does it for me, man. Outside of that, shout out to all my coworkers, all my folks. We getting it. Definitely still getting it. We
Yeah.
went from the night show to the morning show. We're
There
an
we
early
go.
riser now.
I love it. I love to hear that.
You know
We
what I
love,
mean?
we love the new beginnings.
You take the cards, you look at the deck, pick one up, then you
And you
make the
go from
most of
there.
it.
And you go from there. Exactly. Exactly.
Any what you got for us, Shiv?
I'm
Let me
a
let you
shout
rant,
out.
then we'll get into it.
I'm a shout out Jordan Love and CJ Stroud.
The
They're both
youngins.
not rookies, but first year quarterbacks. We are officially in the transitory period of the NFL where it's out with the old and in with the new. Kind of like when, it started with like Breeze retiring, and now it's kind of like, you see the down years from Mahomes, you see the down year from Kelsey, you see the down year from Josh Allen. We're ushering in a new time of
Dak
quarterback in
Prescott
the
was
NFL.
the elder statesman of
Yeah,
the NFL this year as a
yeah.
quarterback position. Literally.
And and he got worked.
I
If you see
remember when Dak was at Ole Miss.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. I remember when Dak was like being considered for a Heisman Trophy.
When he was
Like
backing up Tony.
they beat Alabama that year, didn't they? I
You
think
might
they
have.
beat Alabama that year.
You
I
got me
want to
beat
say
on
they
that one.
did.
I
Someone
can't
fact check
recall.
me. So I'm gonna shout out those two. Keep doing your thing. And then who else am I gonna shout out? Honestly, I think that's it. Oh, we'll shout out new beginnings. It's a new year, new
Facts.
new emotions, new circumstances, new situations, and we're all just trying our best to make the most of it, capitalize on it.
100%. That thing that you are stewing on, chewing on, hoping, wishing for, just know you are already in the midst of bringing it to fruition.
Yep,
Keep
100%.
at it. Keep at it.
100%.
Rome wasn't built overnight. You got to chop wood, folks.
100%. So real.
Where you want to go, bro? You want to go hoops or you want to go football?
Let's
Because
go
let me
hoops.
introduce a segment.
Yeah.
This is seven somethings.
Okay.
Seven somethings I felt like was a great way to get back to it. And we're not going to spend a half hour on everything by
Yeah.
any means, but we're going to let some of these topics breathe. Some of them will be quick hitters.
Mhm.
All seven aren't even happening with just Shiv and myself, but we're going to knock out about four of these guys. It's kind of like a variety pack. It's not a six pack,
Yeah.
but it's the seven somethings. No, the ones that we're going to hit, but where do you want to start first? Because we could go about NFL playoffs with the weekend slate ahead of us,
Yeah.
or we could talk about the news in the NBA.
We can start with the news. I feel like that's like the hot topic right now. right? Pascal getting traded to Indy. Finally, Pascal gets traded after being in like trade rumors for like 80 million years. Pascal finally gets traded in the big trade, and it's to Indiana.
And you know what, man? I was pretty confident in the fact that as far as my Indiana Pacers commentary, it was going to be a tad bit dismissive,
Yeah.
just a tad, because the world is coming on to the Pacers, or the NBA world at least,
Yeah.
and they're averaging 130 points a game. They're the number one rated offense. Their betting totals are through the roof, and they're hitting the over still. I had to make my brother a believer. um, and they're sort of a darling. Halliburton, he's arrived.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chuck. I'll always give him his credit back on the half court trap. That was a prospect that he believed in fully. Um, but I was going to say, I'm with it, you guys. This isn't basketball that's meant for April and May. Sorry. They're first round or second round exit waiting to happen. But they're getting there.
They are.
Now, got to talk about them a little bit different because we kind of had a knee jerk reaction at the beginning of the season talking about best duos, Dame, Giannis, before they ever touched the court.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do that. This isn't on the same caliber in just terms of star power duo, talking about Pascal and Tyrese. But Pascal does have a ring. He is a multi-time All-Star. And he's actually a borderline perfect player for
For a guy
the
like
way that they
Tyrese.
play.
And
Like
for okay.
Siakam, he's a small ball, big,
Yeah.
but he's got versatility defensively. That's what they needed badly.
Yeah.
They needed to stop, throwing guys out there that were 6'8", 6'9", that couldn't, hold up on the defensive end. Like Miles Turner can only do so much.
Right.
And now you've got a, real high IQ defender out there. But Pascal's offensive bag, it's just like he's a MMA fighter who's just well versed. It's like, what you want to do, bro? You want to
Yeah.
trade? You want to grapple? You want to standing clinch? You know what I mean? You want to play slow? You want to just bang it out? Like,
Pascal's an older player in a league that is now like incredibly young, first of all. Like the league is super young these days. But he's old. He's like 29, right? And
I
I
want to
think
say he's hit 30. I want to say he's
yeah,
hit 30.
I think he's 29. I looked it up earlier. He's 29. He's in the last year of his deal, so Indy probably is assuming they have the best chance of re-signing him. He is eligible for the Jaylen Brown contract, which is concerning if you're Indiana because
Yeah.
one, this is a great move because now you are competitive postseason wise. Like you're not going to get walked over in a series by a Milwaukee or by Miami just because you don't have guys who haven't been there before. Pascal's been there. He knows what it takes. He's two-way, gives you the rebounding, gives you the ability to stretch the floor a little bit. You can go small, you can run big. He's kind of positionless. So if you're a player like Halliburton, you love that. But my biggest, this doesn't move the needle for them in any real tangible way. Like I don't think now that they traded for Pascal, all of a sudden I need to take Indy seriously as a potential finals run or conference finals threat. They still have ways to go.
I think so, bro. I think
Maybe,
so.
maybe. I don't want to, it's early, but at the end of the day, you have Miami lurking. Orlando is still very talented. You have Milwaukee, who's going to make their run. You have Boston, who are the big dogs. The
No, it's
Knicks.
crowded.
Talk
It's
about the
crowded in the
Knicks.
East, which is one of the reasons why I was saying I was going to confidently sort of put water on the flames for the indie hype
Yeah, yeah,
bandwagon, because I was like, yeah, but you're not stopping. You're not playing playoff ball with these guys and advancing just yet.
right,
Remember, I was like, that there's a, you know, multiple appearance analogy that I think that it requires. You don't just strike gold your first run as a
right,
unit in the
right.
postseason.
Definitely not.
But I could see a conference final run in this team's future now because
Maybe.
Pascal, their system eats off of volume,
Mhm.
more shot attempts, quicker pace. and we're never stopping this pace.
Right.
We are always pushing. We are never passing up, good looks.
Yeah.
We're running off of makes, off of misses. And that's sort of Pascal's game. If you're going to do that and open up all these slashing lanes, this fool is going to get in there and jump stop and pivot, pivot, pivot. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This guy's hitting this floater and one business. And it's like, he's grabbing it off the glass. And it's like, why can nobody stop him
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
ball?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is this Giannis?
Yeah. I agree. No, but just to go back to the point that I wanted to finish, and everybody's, obviously I'm going to take this position just because I probably have like the best GM. Or like my team has the best like GM in basketball right now. But if you're Indiana, are you really willing to pay Pascal 40 to 50 M's a year when he's 32, 33?
Right.
It's especially at his position where at that age, people tend to suffer some like really serious injuries. Like there's serious wear and tear, especially from the Toronto days where it was like physical, brawny elbows, like, they
The
were
finals
tough.
run was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
We can just
So,
start talking about stuff like that. It was a little while ago.
exactly. So it's just that is my hesitation with this whole thing. It's like, you have to think about that because that decision's coming up within the next
Right.
4 or 5 months for them.
Right.
So,
You cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah.
You see how they fare in the postseason. By trading for him, they did acquire his bird rights.
right.
So they do in basketball nerdology, they do have some more leeway and privileges when it does come to his renegotiation.
Right.
But I am on the same page with you. Stop it, bro. You're not a max. You're not a max. We have the max. That's Tyrese. That's the guy that's getting 30 and 11.
Yeah.
He's the max. Take a little bit less than that.
Right.
So we have flexibility.
Right.
We got to pay Miles. We got we got to keep the big man.
Got to find somebody else too. This roster is
This Pascal piece did quite a bit, man, because they were getting so much. Like Neesmith was playing outside of his means so much. Like Matherin's had a fallback year where he's sort of picking it up again now that there's need for somebody to put up more offense.
Right.
And McConnell's keeping the unit running with the second unit. Buddy's, of course, shooting 40% from three.
Yeah.
Obi Toppin's been
doing what we expected of him, which he wasn't able to do in New York because New York's just mismanaged.
One thing about Obi, you give Obi a fast break.
Oh God, yeah.
And he is turning into literally Randy Moss.
Yeah, it's insane.
Down the wing.
It's like it's just a different type of. It's like him and Shady on Sharp or Shade and Sharp. Like those two are like a different level of like nuclear athleticism. Like just their sheer verticals are just nuts. And I mean, people forget Obi was like nice in college. Like he wasn't just like dunking in Dayton. Like he was hitting pull-up jumpers and stuff. Like he finally is in a system that capitalizes on that type of talent. Shout out to Obi, bro. Shout out to Dayton, Ohio. We see you. Cleveland, this for you.
Sir. No, man. We'll put a pin in that there. Wait till these guys hit the court.
Yeah.
Don't know what the return timeline still is for Tyrese. It's at least I wouldn't doubt if we don't see him until March.
Yeah.
Just because with a hot start, they kind of locked up a playoff spot, and you don't rush that. You don't rush that the funny knees.
No, not at all. No, definitely not.
Can't play with that.
You can't. I mean,
look at fortunate, that it wasn't, more severe.
Yeah, seriously, because it looked bad.
It was a little scary.
I was like, whoa.
Along with this other first point, I'd be down to let you talk a little bit more about Boston because I know you have to. And at this moment, they are the class of the league. Earlier we were talking and I was like, man, the Porzingis addition alone, it definitely tipped the scale in terms of, okay, they're coming back better, or a little more loaded up than last year. But what's really, I think, just doing a number on teams now is that Marcus Smart turned into Drew Holiday. And with that, you get all the positives that you got from Marcus Smart with a lot more basketball maturity. Not saying that, Marcus doesn't have that, but
championship pedigree at the end of the day, like knowing what it takes to get
Facts.
like close games. You know what I mean? Like not playing hero ball. Yeah, I mean I agree with you. Like Porzingis, one, I was hesitant on the Tingus Pingus acquisition
You
because
were.
one, like he's made of glass. The only time he's not been made of glass was last year when he was playing meaningless basketball in Washington. So, like one, Boston's done a great job of resting him when necessary because he did come into the year with the plantar fasciitis thing. Then he got rolled up on. I think it was against Indiana, and it just took kind of like an awkward knee bend, and he went to the locker room. So, shout out to the training staff and the doctors there for just managing it the right way so far. But this team just it's different. They brought in a bunch of other guys too. Like it really feels like 1 through 12 can play, and they're all sort of like unique, special, gadgety type guys. Like you got O'Shea Brissett, who just has ridiculous athleticism, just comes in and just going after every rebound, dunking everything. And then you have like Lamar Stevens, and then they haven't even played the Jordan Walsh piece yet. He's been in the G League the whole
That's
time, and
true. That's very true.
I'm huge on Jordan Walsh. I think he's gonna get
That's an
some burn.
intangible player.
Dude, when he gets some burn and he finds his footing in the league, that's like long wingspan, every rebound,
A year
aggressive.
from now, he'll be a part of the rotation.
Oh, most definitely. Like, so, you
Got
have a good
Hauser,
backguard. You got Hauser who was,
Pritchard.
yeah, you get the Pritchard.
He's played every game this season.
Yeah, yeah, he gets run every game this season. And I think top to bottom, the squad feels very cohesive, but everybody feels very comfortable in their role. I think that's like a really important thing because last year, it's not to say everybody wasn't comfortable in their role, but it was the whole thing of like, who's gonna take the last shot? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be Marcus? Is it gonna be Jalen? Is it gonna be now it's pretty clear at the end of the game, it's like, no, we're just gonna run a set. And if we get Drew on the post up for game, if we get Porzingis at the elbow for the game, or worst case, we're going to let Jason Tatum pretend to be Kobe and we'll take it to overtime. I don't know what his clutch stats are. I don't think they're that bad, but every time it kind of comes down to like a buzzer beater, I just feel like it's not like, does he, outside of like the one game winner against the Knicks that I remember was like a baseline fadeaway jumper,
Yeah,
like, has there been like anything else? I don't know.
we need one. We
We
need
need
one.
one. We definitely need one. He's eating this year, dude.
But
He's
no, bro,
really
Tatum,
eating this
dog.
year.
Going back to season one, I'm calling him the best player in the league waiting to happen, and I want it to materialize like vividly.
Yeah,
I want to see him turning up on the competition.
yeah,
Like I want to see him get a tech. I've seen some technicals
yeah.
this season
We
with
have
Jalen,
seen it.
with
We have
Jason.
seen with him and Jalen Brown both. They both are
Right?
like,
It's like I
yeah,
want to see stuff like that
yeah,
where it's just like you're not having this anymore. I want to see you annoyed
yeah.
during the regular season because you're in the mindset of now I'm playing for the postseason, but I know we have to do this to get there. But on a Wednesday night, I'm irritated that we have to play this sorry ass team. Let's get them fools out of here in 3 quarters. And it's looking very, very easy
Yeah.
for JT so far this year. Ran the Lakers on Christmas, that's for sure.
That was, yeah, that was just why. I mean, this team is just going wire to wire. When everybody's healthy and everybody's at full strength, the Drew integration, excuse me, the Drew integration has been very seamless.
That's a flub that is in no way getting edited.
Dude, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. That's so funny, dude. That is so funny. That is so funny. But yeah,
And then
the
all of that is like, this is just the points we're hitting on. We didn't mention Al. And it's like Al is getting exactly what he needs. And that's to just like ride backseat until you need me to hit this corner three that I got no business hitting.
for game. Like it's a close game and no one can get a bucket. Here's Al Horford on the rotation.
Right. Oh,
Put it up,
it's
big boy.
we're up by one against Philly and Joel's got the ball. Guess who's on him?
Guess who's guarding
Al.
him? Yeah. Yeah, it's like, man, it's crazy, dude. Like this, as a Celtics fan, like obviously the last couple years have felt like, this is gonna be our year, but this feeling is different. This one feels more in our control. Like the first year we got to the finals when it was like with Ime, it was like if things go right and we also play well, this could be our year. And then last year was like, okay, if things go right and we do what we did last year. But this year it's like, no, it doesn't matter if things go right. Like we've got a squad, dog. Like we're rolling out this 7-2 monster that you have to guard 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Like you can't just sag off him. Like that's such an
Nah,
upgrade from
dude.
Robert Williams.
Derek, we haven't mentioned Derek. It's
Yeah,
just
Derek
like,
White, like just stay solid, Derek White, dude. And that's the thing, right? Like that, like, there are adults in the room at every position. And it feels like Jason and Jalen are like the youngest guys again until you realize they're like 26 and 27, respectively. So it's like Derek White is older than them, Drew's older than them, Al's older than them, Porzingis is older than them. O'Shea Brissett, I think, might be older than them. Like these are like, it's there's no funny business in the locker room. Like it's just they're just there to do their job.
no man, they are the class of the league right now. And I think the East for sure runs through them. I
I mean, the finals might run through Boston, bro. They got the best record right now.
yeah,
They're what, like 31-9? Or like 33-9 or something like that?
yeah. I think they did hit the 30 with single digit
That's
losses
insane. I
threshold.
mean, that just puts also like that 72, that 73-9 season for the Warriors in real like, like that's crazy. They did that without KD. That's pretty nuts. Like, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. And guess who didn't watch the game-winning game because they were watching Kobe go for 60 in their dorm room?
Be the two of us.
We're turning on no Warriors BS, bro.
Right. Are they gonna break the record? Bro, Kobe's
We
got
care.
45.
Yeah, Kobe got 45. Like, why would I watch this game? People are posting on their Snap story, like, bro, get out of here.
Kobe's giving Gordon Hayward work.
This is Gordon Hayward pre like taper.
All
Yeah,
star.
yeah. This is like Gordon Hayward with the shaggy hair. This is Gordon Hayward who looked like he just rolled out of like a Sigma Chi house at 1 p.m. after the Rager last night.
The reigning and defending intramural champion. Yeah, Boston's 31-9.
Yeah.
They have the best record in the NBA by a couple game margin for sure. 3 games up on the Bucks, who are in second. 7 games up on Cleveland and Miami, who are in fourth and fifth. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Just get the playoffs going, man. I mean, runs through Beantown.
As for their contenders, briefly before we just touch on the top of the West, I
You got
think next
Milwaukee,
in line I'd have to put Miami
even though they
just
haven't
because
really, yeah.
right, they haven't proven it, but it's they do prove it on random nights during the season when it's like, okay, who the hell is Highsmith? Why does he have 8? Why does he have 19? Or just the game where it's like, okay, so
Yeah.
Jovic has it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Or oh, okay, I forgot they got the old vets. I forgot Lowry and Kevin Love are gonna or have been there before, and and they're still somewhat in good shape, I guess. And they're ready to
Yeah,
turn it on,
for sure.
and not even talking about Jaime or
Love Jaime. Shout
Duncan,
out
the
Jaime.
Duncan Robinson resurgence a little bit. So it's just kind of like they're cut for the postseason. They are
They
hands
are.
down. I'm putting them over Philly, but
Um, I agree with that.
coming back to Milwaukee, Dame just hit this game winner over Sacramento, and what I thought this was his first game winner, I believe, with Milwaukee. And Milwaukee now know what Dame time is about, what it feels like. The
Yeah.
way Giannis embraced my guy after he hit that shot was like, bro, will you marry me?
Yeah.
Like, I love you, brother.
Yeah.
Like, I
He was
watched the play. I watched that whole De'Aaron Fox sent it to OT because Giannis smoked a free throw in OT. I was balancing that with, I believe, a football game. And I made sure to pick it up from where I watched it when I flipped back because I was like, okay, this might get busy in overtime as well. The local commentators for the Kings were like, yeah, the Kings are undefeated in overtime. Stop. Just jinx them, my guy. Just jinx
you said
them.
it.
De'Aaron Fox at the line can make it a 2-point game, splits the free throws, they're up by 1. And I'm like, okay, Dame's taking the ball out with about 8 seconds left. I'm like, Dame shouldn't necessarily be taking it out. You should be trying to get the ball to Dame.
Yeah.
Giannis half-heartedly goes for the ball on the inbound, doesn't get it. It went into somebody else, maybe Brooke. Goes right back to Dame, casually across half. I got this, y'all. Bang.
Boom. Boom.
And that is what we were getting at, talking about best duos in the league and what these two guys should be. They should be complementary assets in the sense that Dame, I've never played with somebody who is a unicorn. So riding shotgun, I don't really know how to do that.
Mhm.
But I'm going to try and figure it out. We've seen it not look perfect. Their pick and roll isn't deadly yet with the two of them, but they're figuring it out along the season because they are both vets. Giannis has championship pedigree. He's also got some of that. I'm annoyed with this regular season shit. Let's just hurry up and get to the postseason.
Yeah.
And by that time, I think that they'll have built up enough trust in each other that Giannis is going to do whatever he can to get the team to the fourth and then be like, dang, brother, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
But like, I trust you right now. And Dame's gonna be like, for sure, let's rock. Like, let's cook.
The thing about Milwaukee, and I've been saying this since preseason, will Dame be able to guard?
Yeah,
Will Dame,
man. I still think that that's overstated. I do.
I don't think
But
so.
I know that there's numbers that support how bad he's been defensively.
I mean, not even that. Like, let's just forget about that. Like, am I gonna get anything additional from a guy like Brooke Lopez or Pat Connaughton? Like campaign. Like, the problem was never Giannis. The problem was like there are other guys just you stack them up against some of these other talented teams, and it's like, yeah, you don't like. I don't like this matchup of campaign on Derek White. Like, I don't like that. I don't like this matchup of Pat Connaughton having to guard Jaylen Brown. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no,
Like, it's just like
they're down a body or two of real impactful players in the rotation. I would agree because even looking at their front court, it's Giannis and Brook in the starting lineup, and it's Bobby off the bench. They don't play another big.
yeah,
They actually don't.
yeah,
So they can't afford foul trouble, and Giannis's body hasn't, been Iron Man to the finish line the last 3 seasons or so.
yeah.
So that does worry me. What they should be banking on and hopefully trying to make happen. They're pulling a play from their Green Bay counterparts. Hopefully,
Yeah.
what they did with Aaron Jones as a fantasy owner of Aaron Jones this year. He just said, "See ya" on the regular season.
You didn't
Let
care.
me have a
Well,
couple multi-touchdown games and rest me, please.
yeah.
So that way, when the postseason does come around, maybe Chris Middleton turns back into the Chris that was like an understated force.
Maybe.
If
I
that
I
doesn't
also am
happen,
selling
then
Chris
they've got
Middleton.
issues.
Chris Middleton with a shooter sleeve one, I'm selling completely. Chris Middleton without the shooter sleeve, I'm still selling, but just with like less enthusiasm.
Right. He might have rounded the curve. And I don't,
I think I'm not saying he's not talented. I just think that he looks a
something
little
looks off. It
older out
looks
there.
off.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he had an injury earlier in the season. He might have, but whatever it is, it doesn't look the same. It just really doesn't.
So yeah, they've got to hope for a reinvigorated Chris by the postseason. And then, hey, you can talk me into it. You can talk me into a lot
Are you
of,
in
of
on the
them,
Knicks?
upsetting Boston type.
Are you in on the Knicks? New
No,
York basketball?
no,
No.
no,
OG Anunoby doesn't move the needle for you? What?
no, not yet. But postseason negative. Having
Yeah.
none of it.
I'm okay on the Knicks as well. I like it. I like it. It's a little they finally have an identity that the New York Knicks have always sort of had where it was like bully, big shoulders, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm cool. I'm cool on that. I don't
they need Precious to step up in a real way because losing Mitchell Robinson,
yeah,
who was honestly feasting
he's eating,
in the
yeah,
paint to start the season.
he was.
And we know he's not giving you double digit points on
Yeah.
a night to night basis, but that presence was definitely there. Losing that, guess what? Randall's not filling the void. Hardenstein's been rebounding his ass off as of late, but even then, the output is still just limited, and putting a lot on Brunson and Randall, who we know, you know, he's got a decent motor. He's a nice Tahoe,
Yeah,
but
nice Escalade.
he's like not rolling with like the Trackhawk. Like it's not a Trackhawk.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool on what New York. But hey, OG was a step in the right direction. I think if they inevitably get bounced in the playoffs, they don't make it to the conference finals. In my opinion, I don't care what seed they are. Um, but the summer from New York, I definitely. Well, first of all, this thing with James Dolan seems pretty serious. So they might have some management issues going on.
I
So
ran it this morning. I know exactly what you're talking
once you
about,
get
but it
through all
won't.
that,
It won't affect the on court product.
yeah, but I mean, like once you get through that, maybe hopefully if you're a Knicks fan, hopefully you get a new owner, or GM, or president of basketball operations or whatever. But I definitely assess what Randall's trade value is. I think he's great. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a nice piece, but if you're New York and with how good Brunson's playing and how good the chemistry is with OG so seamlessly, like you're kind of shifting into a more like we need to make a move, like we need to make a splash with someone. So
I
cool.
stand by the thought process of doing something, which they did. It was okay. RJ, you're not going to become that guy. Well, let's do something.
Go ahead and go home, buddy. We'll
Yeah.
send you home.
Are you okay with that, RJ?
Yeah,
Are you cool if we do this? Guess what? We're gonna do
yeah, we're
it.
gonna. You're just
But
lucky you
yeah,
didn't
no,
go.
man. We'll wait and see. We'll let the jury sit a little bit. I'm here for more DiVincenzo minutes.
In Orlando, by the way,
But
let's
yeah,
talk about Orlando because we both have been huge on Paulo and Franz, and you're seeing immediately why Paulo was the number one pick because he is a franchise cornerstone. Three
yes,
levels, two ways, inside,
yes,
outside. Do you want it
yes,
in the mid range? Do you want it off the dribble? How like it how do you want it? Because he will give it to you in that way. And
yes.
he'll chalk up some of the sides on the house. He'll be like, oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna throw in a little mac and cheese on the side.
Hee
Yeah, literally, like, dude,
little
like
hee.
he's nice, man. Like him and Chet, right, were the same draft. And if you watch an Orlando Magic basketball game, you can see immediately, like Chet is great. Don't get me wrong, Chet is awesome. But there is a clear difference in like what this guy does on the floor is what like. I'm so accustomed to seeing a guy like LeBron size, Kawhi's size, Paul George's size, somebody who's a little smaller, a little slimmer, like, and he does this. He's like Blake Griffin size, and he does everything that like KD can do, almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like the handles, the pick and rolls. He can go. He can set the screen. He can handle the ball off the screen. Defensively, he can guard the paint. He can guard the
No,
post.
there's a stretch right now they were going through where there was no Cole, there was no Suggs, there was no Fultz, and he's like, okay, well, I'm point,
Ooh, yeah. I went to
like no
Duke. I was
cap.
the number one pick. Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm nice. I do this for real.
Nah, man, he's a force, bro. He is in my top 3 or 5 or so favorite players in the league right now, hands down.
He's so good.
Um, Other players in there like Shengun and you know, still pulling for my guy Cade and
Yeah.
guys like that. Um, just personal faves, but no, Paolo, I believe in 100%. They're the tallest team in the NBA. Think that is a factor that throws opposing teams off because there's only one of them. You know, they've got 4 guys that they can run a lineup with 4 guys at 6'9" and up,
Dude. I mean, you
which
roll
is
out
which is
him,
something.
Franz, and Isaac, and that's just like, what? Like
Yeah.
this team
No,
is
they can run Franz, Isaac, Paolo,
yeah.
Goga,
Yeah. They got Goga. They do have Goga. They got
Mo.
Beyonce, bro. Shout out to Goga. Who did he like hip check? He dunked on someone and like
He
completely
smashed on somebody earlier
dude, like,
this
and
year.
he was like, yeah, it was so funny, dude. That's funny. Nah, they got the pieces, dude. Every championship team needs some veteran foreign piece. Goga is that guy for them.
I
I
mean,
don't
no, if
know
any,
if he's
but
foreign or not.
Mo's the vet.
Oh,
He was a
Mo is
first
the vet.
round
They
pick
got
of
they
the
got both
Lakers.
Wagners. That's right. They
He's
do have
got a little bro on the team with him. They just came off of a gold medal performance for
fun, yeah.
Germany.
Yeah,
which they
yeah.
were serving fools.
They were cooking in
That
some.
FIBA World Cup was real good hoops, y'all.
It
It
was.
was
It
real
was
good
good. It was
hoops.
good.
Like looking back on it,
Dude, and
the
Suggs has
Serbias
been
and
great this year.
everybody else, they were really getting to it.
Suggs has been awesome this year too. Suggs
Suggs
has been,
breakout year.
yeah,
Suggs breakout year for
Suggs
sure.
has been great for them. Two-way energy. No, I like what they have. They're
And
cooking
Anthony
with
Black.
gas in
And Anthony Black
Orlando.
has also been a plus. Definitely been a plus defender, good
Yep.
hustle, and young guy who you can tell is getting his feel for the game.
Yeah.
And they're making it a point to get him that run.
Yeah.
And when they do, they might be sellers or they might be buyers that they have the luxury of being both.
Exactly.
Backcourt depth,
Exactly.
come shop.
Your best players are still on rookie deals. Like
If
your
we
best
think that
player.
there's one piece to be had to add to this mix, if they want to go get Zach LaVine,
Yeah.
they could. They
They
already got
could.
fleeced by Orlando, or they already fleeced Chicago once.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They could do it again.
On
Not
that note, as we transition to the West, let's talk about Rookie of the Year, because I'd be down to do a mid-season All-Star list, but I think that's going to get buried in the chunk
semantics.
of hoops we've just talked. So we're going to save that. But when it comes to Rookie of the Year, I am team Wembenyama.
Right. I mean, who isn't? I mean, there are people that aren't, but I'm with you. I agree. But
Yeah,
I thought Chet was gonna win it at the beginning of the year.
and we are not surprised by the team success in Oklahoma City. We
Yeah.
are not surprised by the individual success of Chet Holmgren this year. I think that what is surprising and what is objectively player to player comparison more impressive is what Victor Wembanyama is doing at
Definitely.
barely 19 years old
Dude.
on a team with no other stars, isn't playing for anything, and they're not even playing him starter minutes yet. Guys playing about 25 a game. And he
He,
averages 3 blocks, 18 points, 10 boards. Just got a triple double the other night, 25 minutes. And it's not even the numbers, dude. It's the eye test. They had a game with Milwaukee that went down to the absolute
dude,
wire.
that was such an awesome, awesome game. That was an
Dude,
incredible game. I was watching. I watched the whole thing. That
yeah,
was
you
an
recall.
incredible game.
And it's like the moments where he gets a block or a stop on Giannis in the last minute and a half, then he comes back on the other side, transition 3.
Yeah, and it's just like who's doing that? I've never like I do that on 2K with my center. Like I have like a paint beast center, and I think Wembanyama right now is better than my created player that I invested like 3 months in.
No, bro, he is the absolute real deal. And just the reason why I feel like, that's more deserving of the Rookie of the Year award versus Chet, who is contributing at a similar level on a playoff contender, no doubt.
Mhm.
It's just that, I mean, hey, I felt like there was a lot more pushback on the Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year award and even the Blake Griffin one, where, it's the red shirt rookie. Chet is a red shirt rookie who also had a year of college. So that's why I'm saying we're not surprised. We knew the caliber player that he was and should have been and was projected to be.
Right.
As is Wembanyama, but he's doing this brand spanking new to the league. And we don't know what to do about it. Luckily, the team sucks and they're not committed to trying to be competitive yet. But dude, 2025 and 6 and 7 is going to be scary.
Oh my God. Like he has the fluidity of Kevin Durant with the build of Giannis on high heels with like the
Bro,
defensive acumen of like Ben Wallace and Hakeem Olajuwon and Tony Allen and
dude.
every other great defender. He is, dude, in like 2 years, when the Spurs finally get it together and all these guys figure out how to actually play basketball at an adult level, dude, he is going to be like a machine. Like he just
Oh
well,
no, man, folks, vets and high caliber free agents are going to take that into consideration when they make
absolutely.
their decisions.
Oh,
Do
absolutely.
I want to hop on the Wemby train? I might.
I might want to.
I 100% might.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, if you're a point guard, that's a dream to play with right there. A guy that where you could just spam pick and roll the whole game.
Go
And
live under the radar in San Antonio where I can buy a 3-story house and just, go to HEB
go to
like a regular
ATV. Oh
and,
my
and
Lord,
live my
dude.
life.
Hey, don't sleep on the I did 3 months in San Antonio, right before I graduated. Don't sleep on the food there.
Oh, bro, you can't sleep on the food anywhere.
Hey,
Anywhere
we
in
we we did
Tejas.
we did run the San Antonio trip with Eric. I remember.
Bro,
Shout out to
what?
Eric.
Bro,
Shout out to
I've
Eric.
seen the Alamo. I've seen the river.
You've seen the Riverwalk. We've walked on the river. Like, you know what I mean?
We've walked along the river.
We
Like,
walked along.
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, hey man, San Antonio is cooking with gas because I like Keldon and I like Vassell. I am also big on Sochan. I know a lot of people
Sick 'em
are,
Bears.
huh?
Sick 'em Bears.
Yes, first of all, sick and bears, right? And then second of all, I know a lot of people are selling on him because he's not making the right point guard reads. But guess what? It took Giannis like 6 years to make proper point guard reads, and now
Facts.
look at what you have. So
Facts. He's throwing one-handed
everybody else on that
corner
team,
diagonal passes beyond the
yeah,
three-point line
literally, like everybody
to
else,
the open man. Like,
you're
yeah.
not Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Sochan, or Wemby.
And
The
Wemby can
exit is to the left.
facilitate. He's got that like high post, like Mark Gasol touch on the passes, and
Yep,
it's like, dog.
dude,
We have a Houston. We have a problem.
huge. Yeah, yeah. Nah, the league is in trouble because the Wemby realistically is about to be the first player since like legitimately probably MJ to go MVP, Defense Player of the Year, like the combo.
It's in the cards. It's actually
It's
in the
there.
cards.
If San Antonio makes the playoffs one year, and you're telling me you're gonna look at Defense Player of the Year, and Wemby's in, who's a better defender than, even right now, who's a better defender than Wemby?
In my, if we were doing midseason awards, I had to think about the players, but no, there is a tier that I believe Gobert, Anthony Davis exist in like by themselves,
Yeah.
and Wemby's capable of that as he continues to develop. Hands down. Chet's also high up there. Chet's got a high range defensively. I just had to say that piece. In the rest of the West, we're gonna save the Lakers when my pops gets on here because he's a Laker historian, and he's gonna just say what needs to be said about this team, and I can't say it for him. He'll 100% say what needs to be said.
They need
But
another guy. That's their problem.
Denver is definitely still Denver
Denver's still Denver for sure. Denver's on their San Antonio stuff from when we were in like high school and college,
for
where it's
sure.
like
Right now, the
you just
nucleus is intact.
yeah, yeah.
It is a four-piece Jokic, Murray, Gordon, and MPJ,
Yep.
where it's just like bank on it. Night in, night out, those four,
Are coming to
whoever's
play.
playing, will lead them into probably winning the game. Everybody else just do your job.
Literally.
And they have confidence. Jokic is unfazed by this modern NBA. Unfazed.
Yeah.
The half court game winner I also saw in real time.
Awesome.
Jesus.
That was
It was
awesome.
it was a lot.
Of
It was a
course.
lot to process
For the horses, baby.
for
For
the
the
horses,
horses.
for the stable.
For the stable. For my
You did
dogs in
that
the
one.
stable.
But other than that, the West is gray to me. The West is gray because instead, like in the East, where I think I can narrow it down to like, no, these four, like one of these four are coming out. I genuinely think I think that Minnesota could, capital C could, don't think that they will um hang with Denver. But they gave Denver a run for their money last season, and this will be their next crack at it. It's not their first go around anymore. They have grown a little bit.
And they got
I just think
bodies.
that's still ultimately not
They
Chet.
have the best center in the league, Naz Reid. Dude, is Naz Reid not the most like perfect plug and play center of all time though? He's an animal, dude. I love his game.
You
What
know,
can he do? What
he's
can he not
definitely a
do?
hooper. He's definitely a hooper, but I think that
He is what Philly fans want B-ball Paul to be. Nas Reed is what B-ball Paul is if he like,
Dude, Nasri was like that coming out
dude,
of
he's
freaking
cold,
LSU.
bro.
He wanted to be a guard.
He's cold.
Like
He's nasty.
let me loose.
Yeah, you just gotta let him do his thing. I remember seeing him handle the ball off the pick and roll. I'm like, hold on.
It's
He's
like,
like
bro, I'm not
finger
Isaiah
rolling it at
Stewart.
the rim.
Like,
I'm like, yo, am I watching like the greatest player of all time right now? I'm a big Nas Reed guy. I'm big on Nas Reed, bro.
yeah, no, man.
Yeah.
The reason I say it's gray is because yeah, Minnesota is here,
It's a lot of
Oklahoma
unpredictable.
City's here. I think that these are regular season teams
Kind
still.
of feel like the Kings of last year, low key.
Right.
It's like
And
you're a good team,
unfortunately, I
no
think the
doubt.
Kings haven't taken a step forward.
Yeah, they haven't. No, they
Keegan is
did
also
have
on my favorite players. I love Keegan.
those men.
I'm a big fan of Keegan Murray. But they still are needing something, and I believe it's in the front court.
They needed Pascal, to be honest.
Would have helped them a great deal, but would have maybe had to give up too much to get him as well. But either way, I, whether it's Golden State, whether it is Phoenix, whether it is the Clippers. All right, here you go.
Clippers are playing well.
Contenders, I will narrow down to Denver,
Mhm.
the Clippers.
Clippies.
Could be the year. Could be the year. Very well could be the year. Harden's figured that shit out. I heard
It's
stories
hard.
about
It's
him
hard.
like forcing the whole team to stay beyond. Like, did you hear Zubac on PG's
Yeah.
pod about like, nah, bro, I thought it was gonna be one day. Like, I'm with this fool every day. Like, hey, he's like, Zoo, let's work on the pick and roll. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. No, and that's I've been banging the James Harden drum of like, man, give this guy his flowers, bro. He is definitely a great. But in a star searching for their first chip is a championship ingredient that I think is needed on every team. Either you've
Absolutely.
got to have already been there, or you got to have somebody who really wants that joint.
Yep.
So Denver, Clippers could do it. Of course, the Lake Show can do it. And legitimately, for me, fourth is Dallas.
Dallas could. Dallas could.
Dallas could.
Dallas is interesting because
And I think it's I think those one of those four are coming out of the West, and I wouldn't. I'm not hearing arguments for. They can be made. I'm not buying arguments for anybody else.
so you're telling me Utah behind the heroics of Larry Markkinen, who just came off his Finnish military stint
Big Utah fan.
with
Big
Keontae
Utah
George.
fan.
Shout out to Baylor.
I've rostered Colin Sexton this season. I drafted Colin.
Yeah, you
I've
got to.
rostered Walker Kessler, who they haven't bought into as their starting center for some strange reason.
Yeah,
And I've also rostered Keontae George. Love what's happening in Utah. They're playing good basketball.
they are. Nah, I agree with you. I think that's the correct assessment there. Clippers, Denver, obviously the cream of the crop in the West right now. Loaded, veteran, been here before. We all have made deep postseason runs, so like what they're doing there. Um, I'm out on Sacramento. I'm not out on the Lakers because I know what they're capable of, but I think this trade,
You better not be.
well, I'm not completely
I
out
know.
on
I
them.
know.
I think I'm a little undecided, but for me, I think this trade deadline carries a little bit more weight because I do think there is a possibility that LeBron leaves next year. I really do. Because it feels like he's almost been sat like he had this plan with Clutch. They always do their things, you know what I mean, under the table deals, representing players, getting them where they want. And for some reason, LA's management just can't get him the right guys for whatever reason. Like the season in the offseason, it started off with these were some great moves. And now we're looking at it midway through the season, and it's like they need a lot. They like this is not a fixer upper house anymore. This is like a I need to tear this house down to its foundation and then build up. And
Right.
if that means getting rid of Reeves, trying to get Levine, trying to get Darrell. I don't even know what they need a lot more than just a guy, in my opinion. But then again, I have learned since I've been in middle school, you cannot bet against LeBron. and he has earned that title and respect of always being considered. So I'm
Yeah,
putting him
no,
at,
this is my one tangent about the Lakers until I get my dad on here.
yeah,
But Anthony Davis is the best two-way center in the West, in the league, in my opinion. You can argue Embiid. I don't think Embiid is actually that much of a force defensively, more than he is a presence. So you have Anthony Davis when you're looking at what's being put on him. He had some younger days where statistically he was a little nicer, had more ceiling athletically, and just moved better. But since the young AD that first got his feet wet in the playoffs, this AD is a monster, my dude.
he is.
He's a monster, and I'm the captain of the Anthony Davis ship, and proudly, because there's a narrative. There's two dueling narratives. He's a NBA champion, and and the dominant force that entire postseason. Nobody wanted smoke. He's also, hey, you want to call him street clothes? Guess what? He's missed 3 games this season.
Yeah,
It's
true,
third or fourth in the league in double doubles. He gets one almost literally every night.
true.
And this is a defense that is not that has holes for sure. And he's covering it up. So we have that guy. And then we have LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Who, if you want to poo-poo the in-season tournament, I'm not going to exert the energy to try and convert you on it.
Yeah.
If you didn't notice the high level of basketball being played during the in-season tournament, even though it was just a glimpse and it was quick and you can say everybody wasn't invested, it was legit.
Yeah.
Bron still Bron. So it's just we act like we've never seen a team with LeBron on it in late December, early January, where you know that about 2 or 3 of these guys are gone in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some other faces come in here.
Yeah.
That's happening right now. And I've pretty much held my peace on it until we do get that final roster. I don't know. And I'm not placing bets on who we get, whether it's DeJounte Murray, whether it's Zach LaVine, whether it's DeRozan, whether it's, I don't know. I honestly think it's going to be a left field move, whether we make a dramatic move and move Reeves, or we just, offload the Torian Prince and the Max Christie and the Hachimura and D'Angelo Russell, and we, sell pieces on the dollar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't really care. We're going to get a few more pieces in here that are new faces. Bron figures this stuff out. Look what happened last postseason.
Yeah.
We got the whole damn team at the trade deadline, and we lost to the champs in the conference finals.
Yeah.
So my panic meter is literally at like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
And confidence level in them contending in the postseason still is very high.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like LeBron is unique in that it's never done until you win the series against him. Like, you know what I like literally, it is never done until he is either not in the postseason or
Right.
you beat him in a postseason series. So I'm not out on the Lakers quite yet, but it's trending there. Just based on the regular season right now, I'm trending there. Out on Golden State, obviously out on Portland, out on Sacramento.
About Golden State, just to
Yeah,
say, it
let's
was
do
a
it.
pod that never made it. It was a lost episode that was recorded with Omar. Omar can attest. He'll
Yeah.
be on here soon enough. That it was week 3 of the season. No further, no more than that.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, bro, Golden State is fraudulent this year.
Yeah.
There's legitimate problems.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work. Because he was penciling. He's like, the teams will still be there at the end of the day. The Golden States, the, Denver's. And I was like, bro, we can't put Golden State in that category. I can't let you do it. Because they have real issues in terms of competing night in, night out with the team that they have and what they're trying to do.
The return of the big man marked the end of sort of Golden State.
The return of the big man, dude.
Marked the
But
end
no,
of
man, same. Phoenix, in this very moment, they could be figuring it out.
So here's the thing with Phoenix.
But then that means you're still banking on Beal and KD being healthy come April.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about health. I don't like and we can talk objectiveness or unobjectiveness. We've all watched a lot of basketball here, and I've tried to watch Phoenix. I really have. But like I just don't enjoy the brand of basketball they play at all. It is
It
it's dribble,
what is
dribble,
it, dude?
dribble,
It comes off
pass.
like the grocery store that you don't want to go to,
Yeah.
but they're like the one that's open, or it's like they got the products that's just like this isn't my store, but whatever. Let me get
I need this. I
let me
don't
get some
I late
cereal
at night.
and
I didn't
some
get the
ice cream.
groceries when I was supposed to. Now I gotta go to like, this off-brand little thing that is open at this god awful hour to get groceries at, and I'm picking through like the brown bananas.
Yeah,
Saying,
it's something off putting about it.
yeah,
It's something that gives off. Well, dude, we it was episode 2, man, the homie hopper, and we talked about the first date theory and these things, and it kind of feels like they're on a first date again with this Beal situation, and it's just like, you know, Beal is a great hooper,
it's not about their individual
but I
talents.
don't love Beal as a postseason player. I
I mean, I
don't
don't even remember what Beal is a postseason player is, if I'm being honest. The last time I saw him play in the postseason,
because there's
John Wall was still cooking.
right. There's a small sample size to pull from. That's why.
And so it's just
And
like
you have to learn how to survive in the postseason.
just your body in general. It's grueling. Like, you know what I mean? People don't give some of these consistently performing postseason teams credit. It's like it's not about just playing good basketball. Like, can you physically
It's like
like take an elbow in game 6 with like 5 minutes to go on a loose ball
it's
and
like,
like
dog,
not be
are
out for
you really ready? Are you ready to go in the sack in
yeah,
game 5 when it's 2-2?
yeah, no, you're not.
Don't let it be 3-1.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
Like,
Phoenix is soft, dude. They're soft. Their roster's soft. They don't play defense. They don't play any defense.
and then what really did it too, they had no business jumping in on the Dame trade. They gave up Aiton, and quite literally, I can't recall off the top if they got a first round pick in that deal or not. I want to say no, but it's like you quite literally gave up DeAndre Ayton. You spent the first round pick on, gave a max contract, max extension, that is,
We could have
maybe a little
drafted
less.
Luca with, right? If I remember correctly.
And you pretty much just got Nurk. And that's just malpractice. We talk about Philly mishandling their bevy of assets for a decade.
Yeah.
And it's like throw all these darts and stockpile all this process to just have Embiid, and then you got blessed with Maxey. And it's like, yeah, Phoenix, you had a guy who had trade value at some point. And at the very least, like Boston got more for Robert Williams.
A ton. Yeah. And Malcolm, I think. And
Yeah, and
maybe
Malcolm, but that's
whatever.
fine.
Yeah, whatever.
That's fine,
Okay. Like
bro.
we got Derek White for like crispy M&Ms and like pretzels.
And they
And
really
Aaron.
gave Aiden and straight up just got Nurk.
Yeah. Nah, dude. Phoenix is I
And it's
like the
like, bro,
owner.
no,
I
no,
like the owner. I like the
no.
owner's mentality. Let me get aggressive. I like that. But at the same time, like I don't like Vogel. I don't like whatever role players they have right now. They don't look comfortable in whatever situations they're in. They don't play defense. They don't try to play defense. And have you seen that YouTube clip? I think I sent it to you on Twitter. It was like this one Suns possession. It was like the third or fourth quarter or something. It was like Bradley Beal crosses half court with like 18 seconds left on the shot clock and like just dribbles from like one wing to the other essentially and then like turns it over with like 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And he's like looking around. It's like, dude, this is such a horrible. Like, I wouldn't, if I had children, I would not let them watch the Phoenix Suns play basketball because that is
Uh,
such gross
dude,
basketball to play.
I'm sorry, bro. This is not. I hate to sound so slanderous towards Bradley Beal, but like
Dude,
something about his game, like it's like, bro, don't
they don't have a
don't
natural
do the look
facility.
away when you get the bench guy to bite on a pump fake up and under, and it's like your third bucket in like 3 minutes, and you're trying to like hit the high sprint down the sideline. It's like, bro, this is what happens when all you have to show. I feel this is what happens when all you know is the regular season.
Bro, oh my God, so real. Nah,
Like,
dude,
bro, I'm sorry, but you're Jordan Poole. Like,
bro,
you
yeah.
feel me?
No, I mean, it's just they don't have a traditional facilitator. They don't have a backup point guard, to my knowledge. They're like they have three of the same type of scorer.
And that, yeah, doubling down on the what did you get from this?
Yeah.
You had Chris Paul last year.
And Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Three players who would be perfect for this team right now. And you just like let them go.
Stairs, motherfucker Lee.
You drafted Ayton over Luca or Trey Young, right? You drafted Ayton over Luca and Trey Young. And then you traded him and you basically only get Nurkic.
I'm sorry, but you have to pay for your mistakes.
Yeah, and this is what's gonna happen. And just wait. KD's on it. KD already knows he's on his way out for sure. KD's already texting the homies. He's like, bro, I'm about to be like up out of here soon. Like, let's kick it. You know? Like, bro, like it's so like it's inevitable, dude. Like, I don't care what KD says. Oh, I just want to play good basketball. No, bro. You just want to have like a stacked team ready for you to win a championship on, just like it was with Golden State. And look at what happened. They did better without you, dog. They literally won a ring without you. This is the first year Golden State's bad. The last time Golden State was bad, I think I was in high school. I'm closer to 30 now. For
No,
our,
bro,
for
I
our,
don't
for our
even think we
viewers,
were in
like
high school.
reference.
Like no cap might have been in middle school.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, bro, like KD, man. Nah, it's just trouble follows. I don't know what it is with him and his
Right,
free
man. And I don't
agency.
even think that's
It's not even his fault. He's playing great
it's
basketball.
not. And he's playing good hoops still at
Playing
34,
great
35
basketball right
type. You
now.
know what I mean?
It's just unfortunate luck at this point.
But it's, yeah, you're just kind of, and you can say the same about, I guess, LeBron and what's kind of going on in this moment, where it's
Yeah.
just like, dog, you're a living Hall of Famer still. Like you shouldn't be, in this predicament at this stage of your career. But
Just is what it is. I mean,
hey,
At least LeBron got a ring out of it. Like KD hasn't
100%.
even really
Hey, we're
like,
not done, bro. We're not done. Let's get
yeah,
five. Let's get five.
he could do it. He could
Let's
do it.
uh let's talk a little bit of football this weekend. And in the transition, let's do a fantasy recap to bookend basketball. My fantasy basketball team is smoking.
Yeah, you can tell me.
I am smoking the league. I believe on one of the last episodes of season one,
Yeah.
I gave a quick rundown of my fantasy squad.
Uh-huh.
Immediately after the draft, I hopped in our group chat and said, "Yo, my
So
team isn't fair.
so
Y'all fools." So I looked up, got the first pick, took Jokic. Of course, that's paid off.
yeah,
I didn't pick again until 20, and these fools did not take Anthony Davis.
it's crazy.
So I just have to shout out the guys, man. Yoke, AD, Alperen Şengün, who I confidently took in the 40s with my fourth pick.
How could you
Or
not?
he was my fifth pick, I believe, because I have AD, Yoke, Kyrie, Cade, who's on a heater before that little knee injury. I don't care
Yeah,
how many games they lose. He
dude,
was
he's nice.
heating up,
He's so good. He's so good. People don't realize how good he is because of how bad that team is. He's nice.
dude. And then just the rest of the pieces are putting it together. Shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr.
Dude, the 40 ball. Por favor. Timmy Tim.
So I'm putting all of my hopes and prayers in this team finally getting me over the hump. I'm trying to get the big one. I'm trying to win the money league for once and not just have a good regular season. But in my categories league, this team is 93, 38, and 1. 11 weeks or 12 weeks through the season.
That's just silly.
So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. But what's definitely depressing was the way my fantasy football teams went out.
Yeah.
And there can only be one champion every year. But it's like, dog, I made the playoffs every league. Teams perform like top 2 seed in 2 leagues. And it's just like, yo, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
This is the time. And guess who was the Dallas Cowboys?
It was. Oh, you. Jeez. It's okay. I
Dude,
didn't even make playoffs.
that
I
that
just,
week 16, I had a lot of similar players on rosters, and I had ETN like everywhere, and
dude,
freaking Lawrence, and
Jacksonville and
you know
cheese.
what I'm saying, like some
Never
guys that
believing
were
in that spot.
overlapping. I
Never
got Justin
believing.
Jefferson back just in time. That first week of playoffs,
Smacked. Just smacked.
everybody took
Yeah.
the week off. Everybody. The
Okay.
next week, oh, Brees Hall, I got 40 for you. Jettas, yep, I'm back. You feel
Back.
me?
Yeah.
ETN, I'm gonna sneak too,
Yeah.
bro.
Shows.
Rasheed Rice was projected for more than Justin Jefferson in week 17, like of the I'm like, bro, come on, dude. Come on. You didn't give me the 1 week I needed. And of course I
Fantasy
outscored the champion in the championship round.
fantasy gives and it takes, dude. But when
Oh,
it takes, it hurts. When it takes, it hurts, and when it gives, it feels unstoppable. There's a level of power that you feel when you're cooking in fantasy.
I lost twice in the last 3 weeks of the season, and the one that eliminated me to a lineup of Hawkinson and Laporta in the flex.
Oh,
That's like borderline disrespectful.
that is
It's like
like
you know what you're doing, but the fact that this lineup beat me twice,
it's pretty.
bro, this is tough.
Yeah, yeah, that is tough. Dude, Laporta's good. I picked him up off waivers, and that was
Facts,
easily my best.
definitely. We know this now, yeah. But oh my goodness, man, such a bummer.
Dude, that is.
But we have takeaways. We have takeaways that will carry over in the next year,
We'll
and
come
we'll
back.
always.
We hey, listen, we're cleaning house. We're evaluating what we have internally before we decide to make any rash decisions. And we're gonna take a hard look at inwards and see what type of men we have in this locker room, what type of men we have in this front office, and we're gonna go from there.
Yeah, man, there were positives. You know what I'm saying? We'll stick to the script for the most part, but very frustrating.
That was
Now, on the
brutal.
contrary, I'll take that versus actually rooting for one of these teams that went outside week one of the playoffs. But we are left with some real intriguing matchups for the second round of the playoffs. And I can tell you right now, bro, I uh I think I am riding KC to the Super Bowl. And I think that we might have a rematch a couple years ago, and it'll be Frisco and KC.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I mean, the real question is, out of the teams that are left in the AFC, do I trust a rookie quarterback who's been on a heater? Not usually, but Stroud is exceptional. Two things can be true. I cannot trust the Houston Texans against a veteran coach who's made Super Bowl runs in John Harbaugh. Um, but I can also think that Stroud is like incredible. And I don't think they're gonna beat the Ravens, even if they do beat the Ravens, which would add more
I
fuel to
think
the
they're
fire.
100% going to cover.
I think they could. I think they
I'm
absolutely
not taking
could.
Baltimore in the spread. No
I
shot.
definitely I don't yeah, yeah. I think the Raven or I think the Texans cover for sure. But I trust Lamar in a big time game. I haven't seen him in one, and I know that whenever the pressure's been on and teams have been successful against him, they've been able to sort of drop back and make him a passer. So
He's been passing that joint though this
but he
year.
has, right? And do I trust Josh Allen, the turnover machine? Absolutely not. I don't trust anything about Josh Allen. So yeah, it really only leaves me with Kansas City with the most experienced player and somebody who usually is having an incredible season at this point.
And this sort of feels like Tom's year in Tampa,
Mhm.
where it was like, okay, I know the pieces, and that was before Tampa Bay was any proven when it
Yeah,
comes to postseason play with
yeah.
the roster that they had. So it's like, okay, yeah, you got Fournette and you got Mike Evans, Godwin, and
Alwyn, yeah.
you went and called
Gronk.
Gronk, and he came too, and
Yeah,
it's like, okay, you've got these pieces, I suppose, but the bread and butter was the defense,
yeah.
and I think that this Kansas City defense is
He's
it's
on.
like, hey, kid, you can't give the most decorated quarterback in the postseason a great defense.
Yeah.
that equates to a Super Bowl run.
It does.
Generally.
They have a good defense. They do have a good defense. I like them, but I will say the NFC, if we do get a rematch, which is very likely at this point, I think San Francisco is going to beat the brakes off Kansas City. And in my opinion, this is gift wrapped for San Francisco to win. If San Francisco does not win the Super Bowl this year, they need to really, really take a hard look at Kyle Shanahan as a coach. And I truly mean this because you could not have it any easier going forward if you're Kyle Shanahan. You're playing a first-year quarterback this weekend, and then you're playing either Detroit or Tampa Bay in the NFC title game. Okay? Not only are you doing that, you might play, if you get to the Super Bowl, you're either playing a first-time quarterback in the NFL in CJ Stroud, or you're playing a combination of either Lamar or Josh Allen, who both have never been to a Super Bowl before. So everything is set up for San Francisco to dominate the NFC and then subsequently dominate whoever comes out of the AFC. San Francisco is the most complete team from top to bottom. They are one of the healthier teams. Their defensive line, we know what they're about. What's his name? Will Funga or whatever. We know he's like they got the guys.
I'm a big fan of
you got McCaffrey.
Funga.
Yeah.
The descendant of Troy Polamalu.
Literally.
Went to SC.
Dude, like it is there for them to win everything. This could be one of the most
you went and got Chase Young, you got Greenlaw, you got Armstead,
you got Magabosa,
you got Fred. The corners have been getting a little lit up.
They have been getting lit up. But you have McCaffrey and you have Kittle and you have Ayuk and you have Jennings and you have all these guys and you have the offensive line that is one of the best ones in the league. And so if you're San Francisco and you do not win this Super Bowl, you really, really take a hard look at what's going on at the coaching. Because I'll tell you one thing. You give Mike Vrabel this roster. You give Belichick this roster. Yeah, you give some of the better coaches that are available this roster. And you know what I mean? Like, things are definitely different. Like, imagine if Belichick had a roster this deep.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, we'll see, because shout out to Simmons. He had some terrible picks for round one, but the playoff manifesto is a trusted source at D-Hoop University. It's his betting guidelines for the NFL playoffs, and a couple of those things were, forget about the first 5 weeks of the season. Amplify what you saw to end the season. Mm-hmm. Who is this team now? We saw that play out with Philly, saw that play out with Dallas, saw that play out in the flip with teams like, Detroit and Green Bay. To be honest, we talked about this. I didn't really see the Purdy magic post-Thanksgiving. I didn't really see it. I'm not saying he turned into a pumpkin, but jury's still out. He didn't play in the playoffs last season, or he did, but not, in the game that mattered because, the elbow and stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Another part in the playoff manifesto is beware of any team that resembles the 2007 New York Giants.
Yeah.
And Green Bay has a run game. Green Bay has a quarterback that you are underestimating. They've got weapons that you're not.
They've got their Manninghams.
They have their David Tyree. They have the Plaxico Burress.
Yeah,
they've got tight ends that play.
Yeah.
And they can generate a pass rush. Rashawn Gary is back. Jair, I didn't hear a peep from CeeDee Lamb until the game was already over last week.
Yeah.
And it's Green Bay. Like, and this is a rematch. Shout out to JB, man. I was talking with JB the ticket earlier. Had a really good lunch. This is a rematch of the conference championship a couple years back.
Yeah.
Aaron was on. Jordan Love was on that team.
It was.
They got handled by Frisco.
They did.
I tell you what, Love is ready, dude. I'm not saying he's going into Frisco and he's eating the dub like Jameis did and pulling it out like that. But the runaway with the 49ers could happen in the second half. And, y'all had us in the first half. You're not ready yet. But I am trying to talk myself out of thinking that Green Bay pulls off this upset.
Yeah.
I think they can.
I think they could. I mean, hey, this has been a weird year for football in general. So anything can happen, especially in the playoffs.
We've seen the bye week teams every year, in each conference. You could even say one takes care of business, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
And as it stands, I think that Baltimore has their work cut out for them more than Frisco does with Green Bay. But then again, Baltimore beat the hell out of San Francisco. And whenever we wanted to say that this team is not ready or, this team's got their work cut out for them, they've only smashed fools. They smashed, or I think the Rams gave a run for their money, but they smashed, not even pulling it up now to go see. You can look at the regular season. They took care of business with backups.
Yep. I'm right there with you.
So if one were to hold and one were to fold, don't be surprised if San Francisco, pretty much, don't bet the house on San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm here for it as well. Wouldn't advise betting the house on it.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm right there with you. And
let that happen, and then it's really,
I wouldn't bet on them, but it is set up on paper for them to just kind of steamroll their way to the Super Bowl and then, wrap it up. But then again, Kyle Shanahan also was the offensive mastermind behind one of the greatest collapses in Super Bowl history. So,
So yeah, man, we've got some good stuff to sink our teeth into this weekend. We got the 13 seconds rematch.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have any snowstorms on tap for this weekend, but that's playoff football.
Yeah, thanks.
This is what we're ready for. So with that, bro, I think we rounded the bases, man.
Yeah. No, that was good. It's been a long time.
Yeah, no, it feels good to stretch the legs.
It does. It definitely does. I'm about to tap
a little joyride. You know what I mean?
About to tap into the Celtics Spurs game. I don't think Kristaps is playing, but Wemby is. So
let's go.
Yeah,
that's appointment TV. Kyrie and Tim Hardaway about to give the Lakers fits today. I already know.
Probably.
They're coming into crypto and giving us 60 combined. I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude.
Waiting on the trade.
Thanks. We'll see it. We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for listening, as always. And make sure that you are tapped in to the feed, wherever you're listening. More importantly, we appreciate you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. Don't be a ghost listener. Let us know your feedback. Let us know. Engage with us on socials. Leave a comment. Tell us what part you agree, disagree with. I welcome the debate.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Takes two to tango.
Yes, sir. We're going to wrap this one up, folks. We'll be back to you very shortly. That is a bet. And till next time.